afternoon. This is Mrs. Z, and that is February 4th, 2025. Today we are talking about grade 5, mission 4, lesson 14, and it's exit ticket. I'm going to try to make it a little bit more light here. So let's see if it's working. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. Okay. So to solve, we needed to draw a rectangular fraction model to explain your thinking, then write a number sentence. So what our problem is, what is 1/3 of 3/7? So that's our so what is 1/3 of 3/7? We needed to find what is the part, 1/3 part of 3/7 that we have. So we can think always about story. Like, let's see that you have a garden that has a flower. So it'll imagine that it was 7 parts. I'm going to use the centimeters so I can directly make 7 pieces. The key is to create 7 equal pieces. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my triangular ruler to use, and then I'm going to make that another part of, and then I will also make a parallel line. So I'll make rectangular model with 7 equivalent pieces. So okay, so it's like if you have a garden and in a backyard, and then 3/7 of the garden is flower. So like if we have 3/7, that means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. 3/7, 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, or my garden is going to be the flower. Rest could be like maybe pool, maybe the cement where you have chairs or things like that. It could even be grass. But this is example of 3 out of 7 pieces. So each represents 1/7. We can also label if you want a 1/7, 1/7, 1/7, 1/7. This rest white part of the fraction, that is something else, that it's not the flower, for example. So now the story says, oh, what? I'm just imagining the story. What if 1/3 of this flower part are roses? So we need to know how much are 1/3 of this part. So part of a part. We don't have a whole garden into the flowers, but we have 3/7. And from that 3/7, we need again to do the 3 parts. So now I did vertically fractions. Now I'm gonna do horizontally 3. If I needed 3 pieces, I will need it to write 2 little dashes, because when you want 3 pieces, you need just 2 marks. 1, 2 marks. So when I do that, I will have 1/3, and I will have 2/3, and I will have 3/3. So when you look horizontally, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So I don't need the 2/3, or I don't need 3/3. I need only this 1 out of 3 pieces. So 1/3 would be this part right here, a 1/3 of this. But I can show, if I show you that this whole thing is 1/3 horizontally, fraction that you can see that mix or dark color here is actually my answer. It's now or kind of orange. When you mix yellow and pink, you got orange. And this is the answer. This is our answer. So what this problem is, 1/3 of 3/7 is, so if I take this arrow and I want to know what my answer is, I can think I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 pieces, little squares will make the whole garden. But how many are the roses? They are 1, 2, 3 out of 21. So 321, the ones are my garden, my roses. So when you think about this, it's just we can say 1/3 times 3/7 equals 321s. Okay, so now when we look this, now we're gonna do that as a math sentence. So 1/3 of multiplication times 3/7. So rule for multiplication says multiply numerator by numerator, the top number by top number, and then denominator by denominator, which are the 3 and 7. So when we multiply that, we're going to get 1 times 3 is 3, and 3 times 7 is 21. And that is equals, I can even move this, so like that is 3 21s. This is one answer. This is one answer, okay? But then they say, pick another answer that is simplest form. So we can simplify this 321s. How we can do that? If we think that we glue 3 pieces together, for example, if I have a green color and I will say, okay, now I'm going to glue these 3 together, there will be one part, and then these 3, and then these 3, and then these 3, and these 3, and these 3, and these 3. I will create bigger pieces, and it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. But how many is answer is just 1 out of 7 pieces. So when you see that, that means that I am going to say, oh, how are we going to do it mathematically? We actually, in a picture, we combine the 3 pieces in the in to simplify this fraction. We divide into 3. Both numerator and denominator have to be divided with the same number. Don't forget, it has to be the same because we did separate these into 3 parts. 21 pieces into 3 parts, and also these 3, they go in one piece. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Or we can think 1 times 3 equals 3. How we know what this here? If you needed to divide 21, divide into 3, you think what number times 3 equals 21? And that number is 7. So we have 1 out of 7 piece. This piece out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, bigger pieces. So 3/24 are the same as 1/7, and this is equivalent. 3/21 is equivalent to 1/7. That's all. Another thing I can think of, if you don't know multiplication facts, like 21 divided into 3, you can think how many threes are in 21. So you can keep count by 3 to get to that there is 7 threes in a 21. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see. This was the exit ticket question 1. So now we're going to do the question 2. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit. So we can see that a bit better. Okay, that sounds good. In a cookie jar, 1/4 of the cookies are chocolate chips, and half of the rest are a peanuts butter. So 1/4, not a whole cookie jar, 1/4 of the cookies are chocolate chips. And then half of that is, and the rest are peanuts butter. In a cookie jar, 1/4 of the cookies are chocolate chip. In a cookie jar, and then half of the rest are peanuts butter. Okay, half of the rest. So let's see how we can represent that. Okay, so I'm gonna have a 1/4. This is a jar. Let's do like I don't know, 6. Okay, and then I will have this. Okay. Okay. Now they're not a little bit, but and they should be a little bit equally. But I'm sorry, I didn't draw very well this time. So, but it represents 1/4. So if this is 1/4 of the cookies are chocolate chips, so that's 1/4 are chocolate chips. Okay, chocolate chips. Okay, and then they say half of the rest. In a cookie jar, 1/4 of the cookies are chocolate chips. And half of the rest are peanuts butter. So this is the rest, correct? So half of that is peanuts butter. So we're gonna cut this in half, and then this is left. So half of this is that part. So this is peanuts butter. So we can see that let's take this cup. So this is half of the rest. So maybe this one, the rest are sugar cookies. These are sugar cookies or mix of macadamia nuts or any other things, but this is what the story says. 1/4 or 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 2/8 are chocolate chips. And then here, this is 1/2 of that part of this leftover, but that is 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So we can say that 3/8 are peanuts butter cookies. Okay, so I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller because it's not okay. So this, in a cookie jar, there is 1/4 of cookie are chocolate chips, and that's same as a 2/8. And then they said and a half of the rest are peanut butter. Half of rest, this is 1/4, this is rest. Half of that is actually, when you think about whole jar, this is 3/8 of, so 3/8 are peanut butter, and then these three are it could be any other cookies that is there, could be plain or any other. Okay, what fraction of the whole cookies peanuts is peanuts butter? Okay, we say 3/8 are peanuts butter. That, and that is done. So this was number 2 in exit ticket mission, grade 5 mission 4, lesson 14. Thank you very much. I hope you like it. We can actually just label this 1 out of 8, so it will make sense. The better if you always label things. They're more visible for eyes and they're more understandable. Okay, this was Mrs. Z. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you all. This was exit ticket, mission 4, lesson 14. Okay, goodbye.